fucking December, dude. I was just gonna like kick it and not do shit. But I'm like, you know what? I'll just invite some close friends over, local people over, and just have like a little December fucking kickback thing, you know? So, well, cheers, boys. Thank you very much for coming down. Mike, cheers. Tom,
Here we go.
cheers with the water, man. Thank you guys for cruising down. You remember we talked about this, right? Do you remember you and I talking about, I was like, I want to do a podcast. I want to do this. I want to do that shit. Do you remember? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember you even telling me, you're like, well, if you're going to go mobile, you're going to need a board, you're going to need an EQ, and you're going to need this so you can
Laptop.
like level, laptop, all that shit. And then, yeah, blossom into this dumb shit, you know? So, but I thought you guys would be good guys to come and kick it with. Tom, you and I go back, you know, motorcycles, fucking, you and I are gearheads and shit. I've borrowed drill presses and shit from you, you know, borrowed tools from you. And then Mike, it's so weird, dude, how life works, isn't it? Had no idea that you guys knew of each other, and then I became friends with Mike through our work, basically. Right. Yeah, so
that's racing right there, man. You meet a lot of good people through racing.
My father-in-law, you know, I mean, he's still racing. He's not racing here in Ventura Raceway anymore. He's racing down in like Irwindale and these other
asphalt
stuff.
He
does asphalt stuff. He used to do the dirt stuff. I think like Pintos, I think is where he originally like started off. Yeah. So, but he still goes down there. The track, matter of fact, he's inside. I should bring him out here, man. He would probably sit here and bullshit with you guys forever on this shit, man.
We could go for hours.
Oh, I'm sure. And that's like where like my wife, like her childhood and all that stuff stems from Ventura Raceway as well, because she grew up with her dad and stuff, you know, going out there to the track and being in the pits and, you know, watching from the stands and all that shit. So her and I went out there like, I don't know, a year ago, and we started going a little bit more like on Saturday nights and stuff. And it just brought back like childhood shit for her. Myself too, you know, I grew up around the track, not like all the time and shit, but it's a good time out there, man. What are you racing, Tom? What are you driving?
Right now, hobby stock, which is like a Camaro.
Okay.
Just a 350 engine, automatic transmission, Ford 9-inch.
And those are what's on the trainings, like a 2-speed or something, or what are they?
It's you can either run a Power Glide or a turbo 350
or something like that. Usually. Yeah. You don't need a whole lot of gears for that shit, right? Just
I run stock gearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are you running, Mike?
So next season I'll be in a sprint car.
What were you running?
Which season?
Well, I guess what have you been running? I guess you know.
Yeah.
You guys change it up frequently on what you drive.
Yeah.
Like what?
Life happens.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Is each one maybe a little bit more, I don't know, demanding or more expensive than the other or something? Is that kind of
yeah. I mean, the initial cost once you get into it depends on how far you want to go.
Yeah.
You just want to do it as a recreational thing, have fun. You can kind of keep it cheap, but as men, that's hard to do.
I know. Yeah, that's some truth right there, man. That is some truth. But also just racing in general, man. Racing, any level of racing is, I think it's fair to say. Tom, how long you been racing now?
On and off since I was 17, 16.
And now how old?
37.
Yeah, so almost 20 years, man. Is what you, and then
damn, I didn't even realize that.
My bad. That's what them grays ain't for nothing, homeboy, you know.
I say grays for every time your kid says no.
Oh, that's oh damn, man. That's where I got all these up in here then.
Every time they argue with you.
That's a good one.
More gray hair.
That's a good one, actually. And Mike, how long have you been now?
Since I was 10 and I'm 22 now. So
over 10 years and shit then,
man.
Yeah, he's lucky. The younger generation has these kids classes now.
They have kid classes?
Yeah.
Like
all the way. Oh, that's right, because your boys are racing. See, and I didn't know if they were out there just banging gears, having some fun, like in between track sessions, or they got like circuits and stuff. No shit. So what does it go down to? Like, what's the youngest you can kind of race?
Santa Maria, they'll, depending on what class you're in, they'll let you go 4 years old.
Damn.
But Ventura's 5 and up, 5 to 12 or 13, 12.
13. The level, like, there's obviously different classes, same cars, but there's different classes for the age. And obviously, you don't want a 5-year-old running with a 10-year-old because their understanding of how to run the car it's different. So but yeah,
how big a CCs and stuff are they running? Like, because what's your son running?
They run mini dwarfs, which is just basically, I explain it to people, it's a go-kart with a roll cage. We run either a GX 200, which is 196 cc's, or a Predator engine, which is a 212.
Okay.
From Harbor Freight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they so pretty, I guess, in terms of like engineering and stuff, pretty simplistic as far as how they kind of go. You know?
Yeah, you basically buy the engine from Harbor Freight if you go that route. Take the fuel tank off, the governor off. You slap on a centrifugal clutch and you bolt it to the
start rolling.
Chest. Yeah,
how much do one of those motors cost?
$100 now, $150.
They're $150.
That's not bad then. So it's when you get in, if you want, and I am asking because myself, I have girls and stuff. I want to see them on wheels. My
2 girls want to be so bad.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
That's next.
See, you have boys and stuff, and you're going to the track every weekend. So but I have my girls out here in the garage, and they see me working on bikes, and they see me starting them and all that stuff, but not like I'm not taking them necessarily always to events. I try to, when the wife and all that stuff can come, but because I want them to be around that. But I'm trying to get them into making sure that they're like into that type of shit. I would love for them to be. I can't force them, of course, into anything.
That's my daughter.
Yeah,
I had a car for her, and we went to Santa Maria. She got in the car and suit and everything, drove it around the pits, was happy, and then as soon as we got to staging, she's crying. And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I don't want to do it. I said, okay. And then I kept it for about a year and a half and sold it.
Okay.
But now we went to practice at Ventura. One of my buddies rented the track for his kid's birthday. He has 2 sons. They both race. So
that's cool.
He invited, it was a fun day. And the girls jumped in the smaller car and they loved it. Now they're hooked. Now they keep telling me they both wanted cars for Christmas. I'm like, that's not in the cards yet. It will be.
I know, man. Your dad hustling, grinding to put all those race cars on the track, and the fuel and the parts and the time and it's not just like get up and like, okay, load it up and go. There's in between of fixing and kids shit's gonna break.
Well, that's the difference. There's some people that just bring the car to the track, race it, bring it home, maybe hose it off. And then there's guys that take it home, service everything, go through everything. And that's the difference between having a fast car and a slow car.
Exactly.
If you, even with the big cars, maintenance is 100% what's going to make you, better than someone else.
Yeah. You win in the garage first. That's for sure.
Yeah. And on the bigger stage, on the NASCAR stage and all that, where do they say they win the races? In the pits and stuff like that, right? Because
they spend millions, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Test and tune and aerodynamics and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's to shave fractions of seconds off of this time, man. It's really, they're spending millions of dollars. Because that's what you guys are chasing, right? You guys are, well, like with the kids and stuff, like, and even for you guys, correct me or fill me in, is it time or is it just place? When you guys are racing,
it's place.
It's place.
In the beginning
of the end of the day, it's place.
Yeah. Okay. In the beginning of the day to qualify, they do time to line you up to where you're gonna start in heat races and then
gotcha.
But at the end of the day, the main event, when your time to shine, put everything on the table, it's place.
I got
you could be an inch in front of the other person and
that's it.
You won.
Yeah. That I get it. Yeah, that's racing, right? It's the first one to cross the finish line. That's essentially what it is. For the kids, it's the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that, and I ask because
I love it.
Yeah, dude. You and I are like Mike. You guys, we're like-minded where it's like I get the wanting to give trophies or the wanting to like kids to feel that, but you got to also teach them to lose. Exactly. You got to teach them what it feels like to lose. And if you don't know what it feels like to lose, you'll never, in my opinion, have as much of a drive to win. You got to have that feeling of like, damn,
exactly,
that sucked, or I was so close, or I was dead last, whatever it may be, or like those jobs, you got to work the shitty jobs. You got to go and work at McDonald's or something to go like, I don't want to work. This isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life, So I'm with that. I like that they have to go out there and bid for a place and podium and all that stuff. And it's probably cool for them too, like the ones that are finishing first and second and shit, man. It's a
cool thing.
Yeah, man. That's a like, I'm coming out next week, Dad. Break
yeah.
out the checkbook.
Yeah, I've back to the maintenance thing. It's like I finally got my kids to come out and help, man.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We had one car, and then my stepson came. We got him a car, and so now there's double duty for me. And
Okay.
now I'm like, no, you guys can come clean your clutches, take your tires off, clean them, chains, do all that stuff. Let's go,
Good.
So they're learning.
Good.
First year with that.
And age, what are they?
They're both 10, man.
Both 10.
It's like having twins.
That's what I was about to say,
crazy.
man. They're running right next to each other, man.
Oh,
They're probably
they-
a little friendly in the house brotherly competition,
Most of the time.
amongst them, That's all right. That's what pushes them,
Yeah.
to get a little bit better and stuff,
That's the weird feeling, man. It's like having both your kids out there competing against each other.
Oh yeah, who do you cheer for? Who do you root for?
It's like it's a different feeling.
I
man,
bet.
'cause you want them both to win.
Oh, of course,
And
yeah.
when they don't, one wins and one doesn't, or whatever. The last weekend in Santa Maria, we got both wins, so it was a 2-day show. We got one win on Saturday and one win on Sunday, so that was really cool to come home with both of them
That's dope, man.
getting it done.
Congrats. And they're into it. They're liking it. They're
Oh,
digging
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's good. And I like on the maintenance part of it, if you teach them that stuff young and at the early age, like how important it is, and show them like, hey, this is a difference between winning and this can be the difference between losing. And it takes all this time and energy and effort in the garage, because right now they're kids, they're going to school, they're doing this, they're doing that.
Yeah.
But you and I know, Mike, that it's like, okay, I got to go to work. I got to go see my girlfriend. I got to spend time with my wife. I got to spend time with all of my kids. I have my shit that I got to do. I got this, that, and the other shit. I got to go help mom. I got to, you got all these things. And then it's like, still got to get in the garage and go help my kids or work on my kids' stuff with them,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a grind.
Every racer knows that's sacrifices,
Yeah.
And as far as the classes go up, that's more time you guys.
The deeper you get into it.
It's yeah. Because
It's
I raced dwarf cars before, and then now I have a sprint car. There's a huge difference on time and maintenance, and with a sprint car, you really need a couple guys to help you.
You do.
You start needing a crew.
Dwarf car, relatively pretty simple. It takes time to maintenance it, but you don't have all these parts that require.
Dwarf cars less
consistent.
engine work.
The dwarf cars are the ones that have like the Hayabusa engines and stuff like that. Or what do they have usually in them?
They're a 1200 max.
They got like a Kawasaki and
I think,
Suzuki.
because my father-in-law had one. I think
Yeah,
I was
he did.
showing you. I was trying to help him sell it or reach out to people.
ZX10s.
There you go. That's what
Gixxers.
there you go.
It's basically mostly ZX10s and Gixxers. There's a few Hondas here and there, and
I was tripping me
Cosnets.
out how you guys showed me. There's like a little like transfer case, or there's some like thing that bolts onto it so that you can put a drive line or drive shaft.
Yeah, it's
or
a
something
drive shaft adapter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Yeah,
trippy.
that's
Man.
what I want to get back into.
The sprint one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I going through my divorce, I sold it. Not a sprint. I do want a sprint car because I recently just drove one, and that is incredible, dude. But dwarf cars, as far as traveling and money, and they're small and light, and they take 91 octane, and they're expensive. Don't get me wrong; they're more expensive to start than to maintenance, in my opinion. But
Gotcha. Manageable though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a one-man team there.
I gotcha.
You
As a
hop in.
sprint car.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you need help because there's no starters in them. They're direct drive. I mean, he knows way more about them than I do.
That's why they come out and they have to when they spin out or they stop. They have to have the tow rig come out and like push them, right?
Basically, if you want to put it, the easiest way is it's a motor attached to the chassis, and then there's basically a U-joint bolted onto the motor where the flywood would go, and it's just a drive shaft to the rear end.
Yeah,
And the rear end has
Direct then.
and it's crazy. It goes right in between your legs, man.
and it's just
That's crazy.
it's on or off.
But
Yeah.
you don't care as soon as you feel the power of that thing, man.
Yeah, I've seen them zip around the
Oh,
track,
they're-
dude. Those things are just
Yeah,
they move.
My dad has one, and he let me say,
That's right. Your dad was racing them.
yeah. And he goes, man, if you can fit in it, and if you fix the tail tank, go for it. And that was like 2 days before, and I called him. I said, hey, you won't believe this. He goes, let's do it, man. And he came and helped me, and I probably wouldn't have done it without him helping me. But
That's dope.
man, it was an experience.
I bet
700
2 days.
horsepower, dude, on methanol with fat tires in the back on dirt. It is.
You can just swing that thing, huh? Just
Man.
fucking.
Well,
Pin it
the
and just-
best way to describe driving a sprint car or how it drives is it actively tries to kill you.
It does. It really
you
does.
step on it, and you know it's there's no like soft engine mounts or anything. It's bolted to the chassis. So you step on it, everything's vibrating. You know, you feel everything, you hear it, your vision's going blurry, and then soon enough you have to turn into the corner, and yeah, you know, you get the thing fully sideways and then just gas it, and you know the wheels sometimes come off the ground, and you're like, oh, this is cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it sounds like a fucking ride,
Like
man. It
you
sounds
know,
like a blast.
when you get on an airplane and they take off and it's like, whoosh, and you start. It's like that, but 100 times, man. It's insane.
That's
There's so
dope,
much
man.
power. How much do they weigh?
Nothing.
I thought they weighed
probably.
1,200 pounds.
1,200
I
to.
think my dad said 1,500.
Do they have? Do they put like my father-in-law puts weights in his? Do you have to do that with those?
If you're too light,
Okay.
but I believe, you know, I have to look it up. I don't know it offhand, but it's around like 12 to 1,500, somewhere in that range is the weight you have to be at. Now, sprint cars are generally going to be heavier than that weight, so the
overall, like
just overall, because
speaking.
yeah. Now, when you get to the big leagues and you have all the money, is when you start putting titanium bolts and nuts, and you know, some guys put titanium everything in those cars, and they barely make the weight every night.
They're mean, dude.
Yeah, that shit weighs more.
Those are the big dogs are 410s, all aluminum 410 block. Man, I couldn't even imagine that.
That's
the one that I
crazy.
raced was a 360 steel block with aluminum heads.
And what's the size of the track total? What is it?
Ventura's a fifth mile.
Yeah.
And dude, so you're doing that shit, and what does a lap take you to do
Like
in that shit?
14 seconds or something like that.
The lap record was set this year by a guy named Troy Rutherford, which is a well-known.
He's a beast.
The guy can put a track record on any track. The dude's fast.
And this is sprint.
Sprint car,
sprint.
local guy in Ojai.
Oh, really?
He
he's a
with
badass.
the track record he did was I think 11 seconds, 11 something.
Jesus.
Wow.
12 maybe, yeah, 11 or 12 seconds. Everyone else is running like a 12:50, 13.
And damn. And how many laps?
We did 25.
Or is it timed?
It's
It's laps.
so
It's
at
laps?
the end of the night, unfortunately, Ventura runs into the issue where they built houses around the track.
Yeah.
So now you got people, you know, the number one reason for tracks closing is they build houses around the track, people move in,
The noise.
and then they complain.
Yeah.
And that's how they
You
shut
can
down
hear that
tracks.
shit from damn near here, man. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. Like if it's on a quiet night and there's nothing going on, you can hear a wah, and you're like, "What the hell is that?" And I mean, how far are we from the fairgrounds from here?
8
It's
miles.
7-8 miles.
Yeah.
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 And you could still hear it from here occasionally, man. Yeah.
But yeah, so like they have a curfew, so you know it's 30 laps, or if they go to the curfew, they'll might just throw a checkered,
Yeah.
depending on what it
call
is.
it a-
Unfortunately.
So what time's the curfew over there? 10?
I think like 9, 10, yeah, 9:30.
Early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of tracks run late, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, but
midnight.
that's because it's at the fairgrounds. It's right there
Exactly.
downtown. A lot of the other,
Yeah.
well, not a lot of the other tracks, but I mean, there are plenty of tracks out there that are built, you know, off of roads that nobody, you know, isn't at. I went by, I just did my 1K in a day, and I rode by the Las Vegas Speedway. That shit's out there in the middle of nowhere where it ain't gonna bother anybody. Nobody can hear it. I mean, obviously if you're there, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's the type of way.
But sadly, a lot of those tracks that have been built in the middle of nowhere are starting to get, you know, residents all the way up to the border.
Mhm.
Like, you know, the famous YouTuber guy, Cletus, he bought a racetrack in the middle of farmland, and now they're sanctioning houses around it. And, you know,
Jeez.
once there's houses built,
Yeah, I
There's
guess you can only there's once you run out of real estate, you run out of room in the city. You just got to
Yeah.
keep going out, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
eventually you hit
sucks.
that shit. Yeah,
It sucks. And we're in California, so you know how that goes.
dude, it's the worst here,
God,
man.
it
I mean,
sucks.
I love it here and I hate it here, all
Well,
at the same time.
They get away with it because, you know, people want to be here because of the weather,
Yeah,
and we put up with it because it's nice.
because of the weather, because of the I know
Yeah.
we do. You know, I've said it before. I'll say it again, man. I live here now because I have 40 years old. I've lived here all my life, and I have figured out just how to like live here. You know,
Yep.
because I'm born and raised here. I just kind of nested, you know,
Exactly.
and I figured it out. But if I had to come from outside in or anything, fuck no, man. There's
Not
no
for guys like us,
No,
but
exactly.
for little
Yeah.
sissies that
Yeah.
come, and it's like they're willing to live in a 1-bedroom apartment for $3,000 a month and
With
go
their
see the
Prius.
beach every other day and
Yeah.
just be happy. But
Yeah.
we want more.
Yeah, that is the truth, man. That is the
we want to
truth.
go ride and have fun
Yeah.
and dirt bike riding, racing,
And it's so like it's like for us, for like guys like you guys are racing dirt bike guys, you guys
Mhm.
like shit like that. You would think that we'd be, we would like migrate Arizona, we go to Utah, Colorado, I don't know, places where there is more outdoor, type shit, where we can go and do that stuff. But I don't know, man, as much as I would like that, and I still do, I talk to my wife and my, about it, we do want to get out of here,
we have those discussions.
Yeah,
too.
but there's the part of me that's like, fuck, I was born and raised here. I
Exactly.
want to leave, and I know that I would love being somewhere else.
Mhm.
I don't know where that would be, to be honest, but I know that I would enjoy being somewhere else because I like a little bit more like away, from people,
Right.
a little bit more. I like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, fuck, man, I was born and raised here. Like
We're
this
established here.
Yeah. We got the shit, dude. The other day I looked out the damn window here and there's snow up,
Yep.
not even 30, 40 miles from me, whatever it is, these mountains
Mhm.
up here, it ain't there anymore, but it didn't last very
Yeah.
long. But I mean, there's snow that way. There's the beach over
Yep.
here is the hill. Like, I don't know, man. It's hard. It's when you're born and raised here and you just learn how to live here.
Mhm.
It's hard. That's why it's hard to just like get up and leave.
Well, it's a nice place to live.
Yeah.
It's like you can move somewhere else and people can tell you all they want how nice it is, but you don't know until you're there.
Yeah.
I've had friends move and they come back.
Oh, yeah.
Like 9-10 people, man, they moved, got established, and they're like, this sucked.
Yeah. I don't think I think what happens is people don't remember about seasons. When you live here,
Exactly.
you have seasons here. Not really.
Manageable,
You
though.
have cold and you have a little bit of rain, but I mean, you still have sun and blue skies for 80% of the time,
Mhm.
and then when you go to, I don't know, Colorado, or you go somewhere where it's cold and it's snow and it's shit like that,
Mhm.
you're like, dude, living in the snow sucks.
Yeah, I hate the snow.
Yeah, shoveling your driveway isn't the shit. Scraping your windshield in the
Or
morning.
Having a winter beater, it's like, what's that?
Yeah. You need to have something that's like, just for the
Putting
winter,
your
for the
toys away, man. No way.
yeah, dude. Like, until you go and experience it and you live it, some people might be like, fuck yeah, that's for me, because they like all the seasons.
Mhm.
Now, trust me, I can adapt.
Yeah.
If I go and move to a place in Colorado and it snows 2 months out of the year where I'm at, well, I'll learn how to live in the snow. It might take me a little bit. It's not going to be like the first year. I'm going to be like, this is fucking awesome. This is fucking amazing, but I'll adapt,
Right.
That's what we as humans fucking do, So, but when's the racing continuing then? Right now we're off season, right? I haven't heard anybody buzzing around at the track over there lately.
It's cool that you mentioned Las Vegas. They have a dirt track on that track or somewhere near Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and they're doing a week-long thing for a bunch of different classes. They invited the kids to go, so we're gonna try to make that show Vegas and just take the camper and spend a couple nights up there.
That'll be dope.
Or over there. And,
there's camping around that area, right around the speedway.
I messaged on the group chat, or not group chat, but in the group, and one guy got back to me and said, yeah, there's camping there. There's no hookups or anything, but you can camp and
okay,
fill
the water tank, bring the generator.
Yeah, but bring my boys out there and let them, say they raced at Las Vegas Motor Speedway at 10 years old.
That's pretty cool, man. That's cool.
That's what it's about. It's
yeah.
fun.
Are you going on that, or is that
probably not?
No. Yeah. So are you coming out with a sprint car this season?
I'll probably have it done within the next month or two, and then we'll do some practice, and then we'll be racing this season for sure.
Okay. And the new season starts February, you guys were saying, right?
Practice, yeah.
Practice February, March.
March
okay.
is the start of the points racing season.
So that was going to be my next thing. I wanted to ask and find out kind of how the points work. I know there's a point system and there's a playoff system now with NASCAR and all kinds of shit. How does it work for you guys kind of at a track level? Like, you guys you basically race in every weekend?
It depends on the class.
Yeah, sprint cars race a lot more than a lot of the other classes.
Yeah, the kids only race once a month.
Gotcha.
But it's like, I would say it's spread out. You know, there could be like a month straight where it's every weekend. There could be a month where you're just racing one weekend.
And
I
they,
see.
you know, the promoters got smart, and they're trying to get with each other for what races are on which weekend, so they don't, you know, race on the same weekends.
Okay,
Big races, you know, there's Bakersfield has like memorial races and stuff, and
gotcha.
Ventura will keep their calendar open, basically a blackout date, so you know they
I
can get
gotcha.
more cars and stuff like that.
So you guys aren't just racing Ventura Raceway then? Is that your home?
You
I mean,
can-
I know it's your home, like it would be considered your guys' home track, I guess. But
Mhm.
are you guys racing more than just Ventura Raceway?
I'll be racing just Ventura.
Yeah, it depends on what
It's all-
sanction you get in. Like
I see.
USAC,
It's
there's
all
USAC racing.
it's all money too. You know,
Yeah, traveling's expensive.
it's really expensive. You know,
Yeah.
And that's what I do with the kids. That's why I stopped racing. The hobby stock is actually my dad's car, and he was like, "Hey, you want to race it?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" So we raced it last couple years, got second in points, and then we won the championship. And then this year, with two boys racing, and they kept scheduling the hobby stocks the same nights, and it was just the first race I did that. And I was like, "Man, I can't pay attention to my boys. I don't like that." So
Yeah, yeah.
just kind of parked it and did a couple of races, and you know, but we travel like Bakersfield had some races for the kids. Santa Maria has races for the kids. Paris has racing for the kids. Like,
Fuck yeah.
it's pretty cool, man.
That's cool.
Down south in San Diego, Arizona, Nevada, you can go pretty far with those kids classes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool there, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
Definitely keeps you guys busy then. That keeps you busy.
Yeah. it's-
Yeah. Well, good luck to you on that shit, man. I know
know,
my
that's
kids
the
will
two
eventually get,
girls.
yeah, well, they'll get older to where they're going to start doing sports. You know, my oldest never really did. She did a little cheerleading and dance for a little bit of time, but she never really got into like soccer or like any. We tried, but just wasn't her style, you know. So I'm thinking that with these younger ones, there'll be softball, there'll be something. So yeah, that's coming around the corner where I'll just be tied up. You know, that's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. But at 40 years old, though, actually today is my youngest daughter's birthday. She just
Oh,
turned,
cool.
she just turned 1 today. We were doing a
Oh
little,
yeah, that's right. I saw that on
Yeah.
social media. That's
yeah,
cool,
we
man.
did a little birthday cake for just mom and just grandparents, really, you know,
Right.
just come over. We did something for her on Saturday. But the older I am now, man, I had a moment today where I was like, damn, I kind of like being a dad, man. You know,
I
like
love
God, I want to strangle them and wring their neck so often, dude. Like,
Oh god.
but
man.
I mean, there's just moments where I just kind of stop and I'm like, you know what? That's kind of cool being it. Fuck, it's a lot of work, boy. God dang. But there's just moments of total reward, you
Oh,
know,
it's the
and
best
then
thing in the
you're
world.
like, I forgot about you screaming and yelling until 5 minutes, and then you're screaming and yelling again, and you know, that's,
Yeah, dude, it's the best thing in the world. You know what I mean? Like, we got 4 together and 1 on the way, and
congratulations to
man.
that, by the
Thank
way,
you.
man.
Thank
When's that
you.
one due?
April 3rd.
April 3rd. So
Yeah.
you 3 months ish.
Yeah.
coming up quick.
Girl.
Yeah. Oh, it'll come. Yeah, it'll come up
She's
quick,
been,
man.
She's been kicking, dude, and she's gonna be tough. She kicks hard. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I saw this thing on Instagram, dude, that I wanted to bring up since you mentioned that, and it was like, you know, you have an older daughter and you have
Yeah.
younger ones, and it's like, there was a reel, and it was the guy saying, he's like, I don't really remember my kid growing up. You know, it's like, boom, it just happened.
Yeah.
And then he goes, well, most of the time I was surviving at that time. You know what I mean? You're young, you're learning all that. And I thought about that. I was like, dang, that's a good analogy, man.
Absolutely.
Because you want to remember everything, and but you're starting a career when you're having kids, dude. Your chick you're with, or whoever you want to be with, you guys are learning how to coexist together, and it's wild, man.
That's exactly like, now when you say that, I have moments of like with my kid with my younger kids right now, where like my wife will ask me, or Rayon and my oldest daughter will ask me, she'll go, hey dad, did I do that, or what did I do? And sometimes I go, gosh, I can't, and I'll go, fuck, man, why don't I, like, why can't I remember? And I'm not using this as an excuse, but yeah, I was 24. I was a baby. Mike, how old are you?
22.
Yeah, don't be having no kids anytime soon, homeboy.
Right?
Yeah, I was found out 20 when I was 23, and by the time she was here, I was 24 years old. To me, it's still a baby having a baby, man. I was just a few years out of being 21,
People
man.
don't realize, man. The older you get, you look at, like, even him, man. Like, you're young.
Yeah,
you think
I tell him that shit
but
all
you
the
don't.
time. I'm like, dude, you're so young, dude. You don't know shit.
Yeah, you know, but you don't know anything.
You don't know
man.
shit. But he's learning though. I will say that. I was like, him and I, personal conversations, lunches and shit like that we've had, but that's just time, dude. That's going through life.
Right.
That's fucking experience. That's like, that was really, how many times have you told yourself now, Mike, that was stupid? What did I do that for?
Yeah.
Fucking, I do that still to this day. I'm like, why did I do that? That was so stupid,
Right.
That's growing, man. That's being a man, I guess.
He's a good dude though, man. Very mature. He freaking, when I needed him, he's there, man. When he needs me, we try to be there. We put he had that dwarf car, which is basically, to explain it to people, it's a 5/8 scale hot rod, like a 41, 38 to 41, 42, something like that. I don't remember the exact. Yeah. They've kind of modified to more, looking like different, but basically that's what it is. It's got a GSXR, usually an 08 GSXR or a ZX10.
Okay.
And the motor's turned sideways where the chain would be. You put a drive shaft adapter, and then they engineered the frame around that. And the drive shaft goes to an offset Toyota rear end that's off to the side where it connects the drive shaft straight to, and you just bang gears from first to second to third to fourth to fifth, or back down. There's no reverse or nothing. So that's a pretty cool thing, man. They're like 1,200 pounds on 200 horsepower. They're fun.
Do you still have it?
No,
he sold it.
You sold it?
We did some battery mount and
we built
hood
that thing.
and
I remember it. It was the one that you, or did you have more than one?
I've had
three
of those.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know if it was which one it was you're talking about, but I know that I went over to your house, a couple times and saw what you had in the garage.
That was probably because I
think it was black. Might have been.
Yeah, you had a black one.
I had a black one.
It was black.
Yeah, that was the tank. That thing weighed 1,500 pounds, and it had the 1,200 cc ZX12 motor in it.
Yeah.
That's heavy for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a big heavy car.
Someone would touch my car and they'd go bouncing off of it. It was.
Here's the thing about racing. If anybody wants to get into it, it's cool to buy a cheap car, but you're gonna spend just as much money in the end. So it's like
trying to get it up to par.
Look on YouTube, ask other people. Not newbies. There's a saying that I go by is there's an ask for every seat. When someone asks me, oh, what should I sell this car for? What do you think it's up to you, man. There's an ask for every seat, and it sucks, but it's like,
I say the same.
People get screwed, man. Like they buy these crappy cars for $5-6 grand. They go out there, they can't do anything. They spend a bunch of money trying to make it better. I'm guilty of that. He's guilty of that. Like,
we've all had shitty
just
cars.
Go out and
I bought shitty motorcycles.
Exactly.
And it's not like they're lemons, but like especially with the race cars, the chassis is everything.
Right.
Yeah, crooked as fuck.
Dwarf cars, not even crooked. The way it's built.
Yep.
There's one's different A-arms. There's different.
I gotcha.
Everyone, because these dwarf cars, like they're not based out of anything. There's no frame where someone builds off of it. It's someone was in their garage one day, looked at their car, like their hot rod, and was like, I'm gonna make a mini one of that with a motorcycle engine.
And then it just hit.
It just evolved from there.
I got you.
For a nice good one, they're $25 grand now. If you want to be competing
20-30,
right off the bat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
so then that almost makes you, I don't know what it costs for the sprint shit, but I mean, how far away are you from sprint if you're getting into 25-30 grand competitively on dwarf?
For a mediocre sprint car, you're looking to spend around, okay, well, you categorize a sprint car in two ways.
Mm-hmm.
The roller, the chassis, like with the wheels, tires, everything.
Yeah, right.
And then the engine.
Of course.
The rollers are dirt cheap. You can probably get a roller, okay roller, $5 grand, maybe 10 grand for a really nice, or nicer roller. The engines alone are about 30 to 35 grand.
Yeah, if you want
for a decent power plant. If you don't, you buy it like a Shark motor or one of those.
Gotcha.
You can spend 50 grand easy with just the engine.
The chassis are cheaper. We have a buddy that races, and obviously a lot of buddies, but there's one back east in Indiana, and their sprint cars 4 days a week there. They race every night. 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But it rains a lot too. But there's a market for it too. The stands are packed. And literally, like the big guys, the national guys, they roll a car. They don't keep the chassis. They take everything off there and throw it in the dumpster.
It's a disposable part.
Yeah, they throw it in the dumpster right then and there, and local racers will come get it and fix it and race it. And It's crazy, man. But
crazy.
$3 grand for a chassis.
That's the same with tires.
Right.
The big thing with sprint cars right now, and it's always been a big thing, is tire cost. I will go through a right rear tire every 2 nights.
Yeah, because that's where all the weight, you're just squatting on that fucker.
And you're spinning the whole time, and it's a very soft tire. Now, the price of those tires are like $450 now, $350 to $450.
Yeah.
It's every 2 nights, not including fuel, your guy's food, all this other expense, but just the tires alone. So what a lot of like the World of Outlaws and like the
and that's just the one tire. Like
fronts.
Yeah, there's 4.
Yeah. The fronts you can use all season. Those can be completely bald and you still run them
as long as you don't get in accidents.
Because
on time I ever lose a front tire, someone spins.
Because you're just counter steering the whole fucking time, basically, aren't you?
No.
Feels like you're just kind of. I mean, you go into a straightaway and you hit the fucking. You're straight for all but 100 feet until you start turning again.
With the sprint cars, you turn the car with the rear end, if that makes sense.
You're kind of swinging it. You're like drifting it a little bit.
Well, so there's a bigger tire on the right rear and there's a left rear which is smaller. Now, the size difference is there's what we call setup. You set up the different measurements and stuff like that.
Stagger.
With a perfect setup in the rear and the front and everything's working together, you could basically drive the car with just the rear, brake and throttle. Obviously you're going to have to turn a little bit.
I learned that.
But yeah, you drive the car with the rear, not the front.
I've raced a bunch of different cars and the sprint car was...
It's
interesting.
You got to, like you said, it wants to kill you.
And it's because
you got to man up.
So I'd imagine that now, just putting myself kind of in the driver's seat and just from a, mechanical standpoint, driving the rear and sitting there is just because you're just full throttle. You're just pinning it and you're whipping it back onto that tire, right? And just letting it kind of like ride back on that tire.
The craziest thing to me was trusting that tire.
Yeah. You don't realize the G-force and the weight that hits. You're doing about, on Ventura, you're doing about 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour going into the corner. And then you all of a sudden take you hang it and you set it up for the corner and it squats on the rear. And then once you get set up in the corner and it's sideways, then you roll into the throttle.
Then you get back on it to leave it in the squat.
So you're already kind of like leaning back like this. And then you go to the throttle, and then you get thrown back even more
into the straightaway, then to do it again.
Yeah.
It was in the sprint car. It was quick, man. I saw the white flag, and I was like, "No!" I was pissed, dude. I was like, "No, not already."
Well, yeah. If you're doing 80, 90 miles, if you're doing 80,
quick.
90, and you're doing 25. I mean, shit. What are you doing in your car when you're doing laps?
Like the hobby stock?
Yeah.
Oh, they're way slower. Man.
Yeah. What do you 40, 50? 60?
50 maybe.
Yeah, you're doubling that shit damn near.
A 3,500-pound car with basically a stock engine, 2-barrel carburetor.
Yep.
It's fun though, don't get me wrong.
It looks fun, dude.
Oh yeah,
I've seen like how I've seen the condition of it. It looks like you're out there banging, rubbing up against cars and just like it looks fun. It fucking looks like it's a
there's a big difference between open wheel racing and closed wheel racing. With hobby stocks and stuff, you bang hitty doors, you shove your way in there, to get into the inside.
Yeah.
With sprint cars, you touch a wheel, man.
You're flipping.
You're going for a ride.
You don't want to do that.
You're going for a ride.
That makes sense. Yeah. It's like, you just touch bing. Those fucking each of those wheels is spinning. God knows how fast.
80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And you touch wheels, and you're
at the wrong angle. One person goes this way.
You're in the fence.
Yeah,
you're hanging in the fence.
That's true.
I hate to say man up because there's a lot of good women racers too. But you have to man up.
You
got
that
car.
They have to do it in that defense, I guess, in their defense, and like to help you out with it. They have to do it in their own way. There's a different aggressive
woman up.
Yeah, woman up. I mean, men are just going to be like, I got to go faster. Bah! And there's a certain limit that we'll just take it to. That's just how we're wired. Men and women are just wired different.
Right.
And men will just fucking pin it as we don't.
Yeah, we're stupid.
We're stupid. That's what it boils down to. We're retarded. We do not think.
Ventura is a very good track at weeding out idiot drivers.
Yeah.
Or, I wouldn't say idiot drivers, just like,
Small.
I just want to go fast and hammer down the whole track.
Oh, you learn quick.
You can't hammer down Ventura.
It's just quick. It comes up on you real
well,
quick.
like my dad.
The way the way Ventura's kind of shaped is that turn 2, between turn 1 and 2, which is the flag stands here. You got turn 1 and 2. Between 1 and 2, if you're not on it and you don't throw the car in properly or anything, you're going to end up in that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
You'll slide up into that wall. Yeah, I made that mistake before in a sprint
turn
car.
2 is
It's a trip.
It's like you're going uphill, and it's turn 2 is the trickiest.
It kind of like like a normal ovals like this. It kind of like comes in a little bit sooner than you expect.
Really?
Yeah. So we
don't see any of that stuff from the stands. Like from the standpoint, like when you're just watching as a spectator and stuff, you just see. I mean, I understand just from racing and knowing how a track works and I know that there's dips. I know that there's lines that you're trying to take and all that shit. So I can watch it like that, but not to that level of detail. Like because you guys are sitting ground level, ground zero, and you can know that there's it's more uphill than it is downhill.
The best thing to look at is like a Google Maps image of the track, just bird's eye directly on the track, and
you'll see
you can see different lines and stuff like that.
Or walk it.
Walk
you
it.
See how deep those ruts are, man. You're like, a car went over that and the person didn't die.
Yeah.
It's like what I was saying about my dad is he told me when he first started racing Camaros and hobby stocks or street stocks, then he would just bounce off the wall and they were trying to kick him off the track and stuff. He's just
crazy.
To the floor, just and then you had to learn because you mess some shit up.
So. I'm sure.
It's like my dad's car. He had a Sport Compact, which is like the Pinto class, but he had a Toyota truck with a four cylinder.
That thing was badass.
And that thing did not handle worth a shit.
It was fun to watch.
But we got the way my dad would drive it was he'd come off the corner, he'd come into the corner, but the truck didn't handle very well, so he'd bounce it off the wall and then hit the inside of the track, do an inside lap, go all the way out to the outside wall, bang it off the wall again. So we went through about a right wheel tire and rim and all that, the whole right rear assembly. We went about 1 every race, 2 every race.
Bing!
Yeah, then we had,
bounce it off the wall.
Yeah, the rims were just bent in, and we'd save the tire half the time. But yeah, we'd take, we'd scrap the wheels for like
steel wheels.
Yeah, $20 or whatever they were worth. We'd scrap them. We'd have like a whole truck full and scrap them and stuff.
That's racing, man.
Oh yeah,
that's racing, dude. That is. I think that would go for more than just racing. Like I myself, it's a lifestyle. It's what I'm saying. That's why this podcast is kind of called The Garage Life, because I do the same shit for my motorcycles, for my classic car and my truck and shit, dude. I just did the other fucking day when I did the 1K. I took all of my cans and I went and took my fucking mother and father-in-law's cans and traded that shit in to go get gas money before I left for that shit, dude.
We have a whole thing on the side of the house. I was telling her, I was like, before we go to Vegas, we're cashing these in.
You should, dude. Yeah,
that's worth
it. You got to learn when to use them, And then theirs was my mother and father-in-law, man. They have Snapple. They always have. They get cases of shit at Costco. And then I try and just buy water here, but my wife will bring Coke bottles from the house, from their house over there. But anyways, so I read like 3 or 4 months, dude. Ours collects and then theirs collects. I'm like, all right, it's recycle time. And it's a good, like over $100, dude.
Especially right now at Christmas, you got other stuff to be spending money on.
Yeah. I selfishly spent this one on myself. I spent it on gas money, which it didn't even it covered like half of it or something like that. Didn't even cover like all of it, no. But I mean, I'll take half of it, better.
But that's the thing, about us is we make sure everybody else is good,
Yeah.
All the time, man. There's a lot of stuff I don't do anymore,
Yeah, dude. There's like
my poor bike still sitting.
I know your bike. I know, dude. When you just come over and put together whatever you have, put together.
Most of it.
Yeah. We should just so it looks like a motorcycle again. We should just
I pushed it to the front of the garage.
Okay. So at least it's not back there in the weeds and all that shit anymore, Yeah. No, we got to put that thing back together, man.
And I miss it, man.
Yeah.
The last ride I went on was with you when we
toy
went
run
to Temecula.
Really?
Yeah. The stupid charging system.
Took a crap.
Well, it didn't. Remember?
It was kind of on and off, I think. Yeah.
It lasted. I didn't shut off the bike, and when I got home, I shut off. And as soon as I tried to start it again, it did not.
Nothing.
No. And then when I tore it apart, It's like, all right, cool. Let's get this charging system. We pulled the clutch assembly out, and sure enough, the fucking main shaft on the transmission was toast.
Out she comes.
Yeah, well, it was the single shaft.
Yeah.
The single spline, I mean.
So you can do the upgrade.
I already did everything. I got the multi-spline from somebody, and I got a few other things, and then when I tore it apart, I was like, well, I need to do this, I need to do that, and then I found out.
I know.
Then when I took the exhaust off to put the transmission together, I found out, I was looking inside the head, and it's freaking leaking oil. The seats are bad.
Dude.
Son of a bitch.
That's an FXR, man.
Yeah.
It's an old bike.
I love that thing,
I know.
man.
You got to be. I'm gonna get one of these days. I will buy an FXR just to have
Yeah.
one to tinker, because it's, from my understanding, I've never owned one, but I got friends like you
Yeah.
and a bunch of other friends that do have them, and the consistency among them is that they're always just kind of got to be worked on a little bit.
Yeah.
They're affectionately dubbed fixers. FXR, they're dubbed fixers, and I'll get one of these days, just to say that I had one or something like that. But put one of those in the stable. Mike, you don't have your bike anymore.
I don't have anything.
I know. So just all racing now.
Yeah, I sold it to help with the sprint car.
What did you have? What was it? You had two of them, right?
I originally had a DRZ 400.
Did you talk him into help? Did you help talk him into getting a bike?
Not really.
No.
Kind of came to me and was like, and then of course, you know what I said.
What?
Get the Harley.
Good advice.
That's expensive.
I think I told him the same thing.
Trust me, I
But
wanted
you know
one.
what? 2 wheels is 2 wheels, man.
Yes. Yeah. And trust me, my passion is the Harleys. That's
Right.
my first choice. But be honest, man, I was looking at like these like enduro bikes, like those like the Africa
Yeah.
Mhm.
Twin or something like that. The Honda makes, dude. I was looking at some of those, just like
the Harley one's pretty cool too.
yeah. Harley is the cool one. And I've never ridden one, but it's the first one they've ever made.
Yeah.
And so Honda's done it forever, and so I would probably, if I'm going to go buy one, I think I'm going to go buy one that I know they know their shit,
Exactly.
It's
You're
a Harley.
just like
Yeah.
me, man. I like tell people all the time, do not buy the first manufactured year, man.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have problems.
Yeah. It's like everything else, man. Like first year they came out with a twin cam, first year they
Mhm.
came out with an M8, first year the Evo, and so on and so on,
Always something.
it's always going to be something, and you can relay that to electronics, the first Xbox, the
Yep.
first fucking,
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
always going to be, I just bought the Insta360, the camera.
Mhm.
I bought the third generation,
There you
and
go.
from the first generation to the third one,
Yeah, exactly.
I saw it and I'm like, it's fucking light years ahead of that first one, so glad I waited a little bit,
Right.
Speaking of, that's what I should do. That'd be kind of cool. Well, when the race season comes, I'm gonna go down there with you guys. I'm gonna strap that fucking Insta360 onto one of your guys'
Hell yeah.
cars, dude.
There's one guy that does that.
Yeah, we should get
Chris.
some footage of
Two
some.
then.
Yeah.
Trevor Fitzgibbon.
Oh yeah, he does that too.
Actually, what I'll do next time too is I'll get a little pit thing. I'll bring my my camera, do a little vlog from the pits and shit like that,
There you
dude.
go.
Throw some stuff
Bring
on
it in,
YouTube
dude.
and
Show you
shit,
some
dude.
sprint car maintenance.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I'll go in there and get my hands dirty. I know my way around a damn car.
Hey,
and shit.
just
I
be
got no problem.
careful, man. That's what I tell people when
Yep.
they start asking me about racing. This is my analogy, and it's better for men, I assume, right? But I always tell people it's like losing your virginity, dude. Once you do it, you're hooked.
Yeah.
I know.
You know what I mean? There's nothing you.
And then you
That's all
just
you
gotta
think
prepare
about.
to be broke for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Well, that comes with vagina too. right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Mike's like, learn that one.
Come on now.
That's the truth. Hey, but I feel you on that. I have asked my father-in-law. He goes down to Irwindale and maybe some of their practice runs, or when they go down there sometimes like on a Thursday, and I think they have open track or something. They can go do some testing. I told him, dude, let me get in that sucker, dude. Like, first of all, I tell him, let me get in it. I've never driven one. You got it. Let me go try. And I'm all, second of all, like, I know that you guys know, or he knows that I've never driven a race car or anything like that.
Right.
But I've ridden fucking motorcycles, and I know the way I ride. I'm like, I know also that you said it earlier. You also need someone that's got some balls behind that fucking seat to go ahead and go. Now, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go out there and kill myself,
Right.
but I also know how to go ahead. Like, I feel like I know my personality enough to go, hey, put me in the seat of that thing, and watch me go a little bit because I got the big elephant balls to go ahead and get stupid with it and let it eat a little bit.
But here's the thing I know with you is that you're going to respect it at the same time.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
These younger people, they get in and they think they know, and it's like you got to respect the machine you're in too. Man.
Yep.
You don't want to be tearing up somebody else's car and shit.
I love seeing people, I'm gonna,
I love that too. I love that. I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna win. This. That
thing,
looks
dude.
easy. You just counter. You just counter steer and gas it, and this and that and this, and you don't have to wash it or do all the maintenance to it. There's a guy this season that I was watching all season, and the car came broken to the track every race because he didn't wash it. It didn't come off the trailer. And people will buy cars, and they'll if they have money, they'll buy the most badass car they can afford, or but buy at the market at that time.
Yeah.
And you'll just see that car just be a total turd at the end of the season because
sad when that happens.
And it happens a lot.
Really?
It happens a lot.
Yeah, you gotta learn, man.
Now that's a good thing for me that doesn't have a lot of money because I can scoop up that car for pretty cheap,
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, there's always a benefit for guys like us in it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot, especially dirt track racing. It's a lot. You get humbled the first time you're in a car.
Oh, I'd imagine. Yeah. I definitely I can use that same feeling and that perspective. And I can feel that, and probably it's the same type of thing is with Harleys. You got a lot of guys, a lot of young guys right now getting on Harleys. A lot. I mean, for me, when I was younger, I always saw older cats on Harleys. Like I always saw like my dad and his friends. I never saw anybody under when I was growing up 30. I don't know, maybe 25. I saw some younger cats, maybe 20. But some of these guys are like fucking 18 years old, 19, 21 years old. How the fuck you got a Harley? Not only a Harley, a brand new fucking Harley.
They got it financed for 9 years.
Damn. I'm like, yeah.
They got a mortgage on it.
Yeah. Well, we all made stupid mistakes. I did dumb shit like that when I was young too. I wasn't going out and I guess buying I didn't buy a 25, 30,000. No, they're like 35,000. I didn't go buy I didn't go buy a $30,000, $35,000 motorcycle. I went and bought the fucking dumbass 2,500 22-inch wheels for my fucking, ride and shit. I went and did that dumb shit, not $30,000 in debt shit, because
I'm glad I went the route I did with starting riding because, my dad rid Harleys forever. He had a bunch of show bikes and stuff. He'd go to Laughlin and all that stuff. And so, I had a little bit of insight, my barber, very well-known motorcycle racer. And so I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll see what I can get. And, you had you and I had Tom and they're like, get a Harley. And it's like,
that was good advice.
I didn't want to buy a really nice, a Harley and then wreck it, So I'm thankful I went with
you telling me that.
The DRZ. Perfect bike because it was light, it was plenty fast enough. You weren't gonna do 100 miles an hour, but you can do wheelies all day long.
Yeah, good starter bike.
It was great.
A good little
it was $4,000.
Yeah, I could have found you a Sportster for $4,000, dude.
Yeah, but I didn't want to be made. I didn't want to be made fun of for the Sportster.
Listen,
that is true.
We'll probably give you a little shit. I'll give you a little shit just because that's you're a friend. I'm gonna talk a little bit shit to you, but that's all right. But there's nothing wrong, I think, with a guy riding first of all, I got a friend that has a Sportster and the thing's fucking fast as fuck. Exactly. And it's pretty badass. It's a nice fucking bike and it's fucking fast. Me and him go stoplight to stoplight regularly, like ready? Bah! And we just fucking next light, stop, next light, bah! We just go and we're like always toe to toe. It's a fun fucking bike to go mash around on. And you're not a giant guy. You're not Tom. You're not my fat ass. You're a smaller guy where a Sportster, although I know it has the stigma of that shit, although it has the stigma of it, it's really simple, dude, to put some taller shocks on that thing and like a little bit of suspension and get it off the ground just a little bit. Mm-hmm. And you'll have a fucking little bike that you'd be like, oh, this is kind of cool, man. I could rip and throw this thing around, dude. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but with the DRZ, I loved it. It was great. I sold it and then I bought a Yamaha Bolt, which is, the Yamaha's version of a
Harley. Yeah, I know.
You know,
It was like swing and a miss.
yeah, you know, but later on in life, if I could, you know, when I'm older and I had the money to do it, you know, I would definitely have like
Don't say
what you
that.
have.
Don't say when you're older.
Yeah,
man.
don't
Do
say
it.
when you're older.
Well, I would have what you would have, you know, your road glide, and then I'd have a DRZ, I think.
DRZ.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Grocery
I
deal.
want
good
something
little-
light to just, you know, throw around, go to the grocery store and throw
Yeah.
around back.
And if you throw little tires on it, some little knobbies on it, you can just take it off of a little fucking track
Exactly.
really quick. That's why I want
Exactly.
like one of those. I think they're called Africa Twins, the Honda ones.
The
They got-
Enduros.
The Enduros. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. They got knobbies on them. They
Yeah.
got little bags on them. They got
They sell like all terrain tires. For
Yeah.
them, you know.
you can take
Yeah.
those
They're
things
not-
fucking
Truck
everywhere.
routes.
They're
There's a
not
few
great
of
for
them
the
right now.
dirt, and they're not great for the, you know, asphalt.
No, but you can go hit a fire road
Oh,
and go
for sure.
fucking go back God knows how far on a fire road.
You know, with the all-terrain tires, you ain't gonna eat shit in
Yeah.
the corner, but you know,
Yep.
it's still
Well, the next one will be a Harley. Yeah.
yeah.
We'll find
definitely.
you. We'll find you. We'll
Definitely.
find you the next when you're ready to pull
You
the
heard it
trigger.
here
On,
first,
yeah.
folks.
Yes. Exactly.
right.
That when you want it, when you're ready to buy another motorcycle.
I don't know. With my 5-year-old brain, I'd probably end up with something weird.
Like what?
I don't know.
Like a
I'll look at something and be
Mike's
like,
gonna roll up on a Cholo that Vicla. He's gonna yeah, ape hangered, fishtailed out and shit.
I love that. Man.
That'd be so funny.
Let's go.
I don't know what's next. I definitely want a Harley. But they're expensive.
They're always gonna be expensive, and they will not get cheaper, dude.
No.
Yeah, and why? Harley's a piece of shit motorcycle when it comes down to it. It is a piece of shit. It's old technology. It's old
Right.
technology and dated technology in comparison to what can be done today. Now
That's-
they're stepping it up.
That's funny when you say that because that's just like a sprint car. Sprint car is old
It is.
technology.
It's weird.
It's a straight axle front with torsion bars for springs. Torsion bar front and rear, live axle rear, solid axle front,
Mechanical fuel injection.
mechanical fuel injection.
It's not
Really, it still has a pump. It's got
Yep,
like
and
a-
there's no battery, no starter or anything. It's a magneto, just like
Wow.
an airplane.
It's
So it's nothing. It's just I mean
It's
it's
bare bones.
yeah.
Still
It's
one of the
just
best
it's
things
whatever
ever.
it needs just to go fast
It has.
and roll.
You know, like the newest things on a sprint. Like obviously, there's new parts. You know, you can buy brand new parts, but like, yeah, it's old technology. It's just like a Harley.
what is the most modern thing on that? Adjustable shocks from the cockpit?
It would be either the adjustable shocks or like the the tachometer you put in it, or I mean, they have new MSD mags and stuff, which are bitching. But yeah, like an MSD would probably be the most modern thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, besides the
But we still pay a
internals.
shit ton of money for them, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're
everything's now everything's made out of
Addicting.
titanium,
Still, I
and
know.
it's
Just
it's
like a Harley, man. addicting.
yeah. I didn't
being
being young.
I
and
got them
dumb.
all over the place, dude. I
Mhm.
got that one. I got my dad's. I got this Dyna that I'm working on here. I got two more that
I
are out
love
in the
that
back,
you have
man.
your dad's, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I just got tires for it. I got to put the front tire on it, man. I was getting new tires for it, getting ready for the David Mann show,
hmm
and then they canceled it because of the rain and shit.
Right.
And I was kind of glad because I was gonna go to I was gonna go to town on that thing, like detail, like
I was gonna say, yeah, you
polish
better clean
it.
yours, he's gonna be
Oh, I
mad
was
at
gonna
you.
clean the fuck out of that thing, dude. Like I was really gonna go in on it, and I still am. Because of it, I was able to okay, I don't need to
Take your time. with it.
yeah. Now I had 4 days to do it. Now it's like I don't have a rush to do it.
Right.
But I got brand new tires for it, front and back, man. I felt really bad because I was a little bit of neglect on my part with it. I was just riding mine, and I just but I was looking at it going, Ray, get this motherfucker on the lift and
Right.
give it some love before your dad comes and thumps you on the back of the head right now, man. Because I know he's like, you better clean that fucking bike, But
Right.
yeah, man, I love fucking riding that thing, man. I
It's
don't know.
nice.
Yeah, there's something about it when I sit behind that thing. I'm like, I don't know. I remember looking to my left and going, "There's my old man." Now I feel like,
I love that.
yeah, I feel
man.
like that shit behind it,
I remember the first time I got my FXR, dude. My dad helped me get it. And he goes, hey, he called me up. He goes, we were looking at bikes and stuff. And he's like, no, you don't want that one. I was young, 20. No, you don't want that one. Let's look at the baggers. I was like, no, I don't want a bagger. It's young,
Yeah, you didn't want a bagger at 20.
No.
Yeah.
And
I want a
then,
bagger.
well, now, yeah.
Now you do. It's
they're
so
in now,
it's
you know.
so fucking weird how that is, dude.
Yeah.
You used to be straight. You had to be like over at least 50 to own one of those motherfuckers.
exactly.
And
Well,
now, yeah.
Have I told you the story? Like when I told my dad what I wanted.
No.
You know, I walked into the living room. I was like, hey, you know, I want to get a bagger. And he goes, bagger. He goes, I want a bagger. I'm like, yeah, I know. And I want a bagger too. And he goes, no, don't you want like a Dyna or something? Like, what's wrong with you?
I know. They're a hot thing right now. They are a hot thing. And
It's the utility, though. You have the bags. You can.
no,
throw stuff
it's the
in.
utility, and then it became the performance aspect that got
Mhm.
thrown into it, and then it
They're
became
nice now.
it became a fad, and people learned how to take them and make them look better for sure.
Mhm.
You know, they took the grandpa out of them,
Like
you know,
this
so
one
to
right
speak.
here,
Yeah,
right?
like I mean, yeah, I fucked around a little bit with mine and shit, but there's a market for them now.
Oh, yeah.
And what happened was, now that there's a market for it, every company is fucking jumping on board to go and make products for it. Before, it wasn't any of that shit, dude, for bagger stuff. You know what you had? You had Kurioking, which was fucking cup holder bullshit, and chrome
Yep.
covers that
Yeah,
you would put over
exactly.
your shit.
Yep,
Like,
chrome.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you would
Block with
have.
chrome.
Yeah, you would have fucking weird handlebars. You'd have like stupid shit, leather fucking covers for the top of your lids. Yeah,
Stereos.
you'd have like straight up grandpa accessories that were made for this shit.
Right.
And then there became a fad and a market and a thing.
Well, the racing scene too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There
Yeah.
became something, you know. The racing thing became something because the fad and the fucking thing was started, you know. The market saw it. They go, we need to make something for this shit, you know.
Yeah.
And then once it happened, then you got all these companies now that I don't blame them. They're in it to make money. That's the business,
Exactly,
right?
yep.
So I don't blame them for going and figuring out to make some nice parts for these people. And now that's what's happened. You have fucking a shit ton of abundance parts. You used to have massive parts for Dynas. You still do, obviously, and FXRs and all that shit. So you can build them a lot more abundant. And now that's where we're at with the baggers and shit, you know?
Exactly.
So it is what it is, dude.
They're cool
It's
now.
here, you know. They're cool now, you know,
Yeah.
which I like to see for them,
They're in
you know.
style.
They're in
Yeah.
style now. The younger kids and the younger generation
They're
have
hip.
figured out how to make them, cool, I guess,
They're
and shit, you know. And you're right, Mike. They are on the flip side of it, like on the reality side of it, like the real nuts and bolts of it. From a utility standpoint,
They're more comfortable.
they're more comfortable. You can go if you really do. Not all these younger guys or all these guys that have baggers are going and doing the miles that they will allow you to do,
No.
you know. But if you want to, you have bags, you have a big giant fairing, you have comfort, you have chargers, you can go for, you have a 6-gallon fucking tank, you can go for a long fucking time, you know. So
And they got cruise control now and stuff like that.
yeah, I took all that shit out of mine.
Did you?
Yeah, I took cruise control out of mine. It has which sometimes I really regret. I'm like, fuck, I wish I had that cruise control right now. Like the 1K I did,
You're right.
I was like, fuck, I had said to, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but if you're just doing 90, the whole 90, 95 on just a straight stretch, you would like to, there was times where I couldn't, it was getting cold. And my left hand, no problem, because I'd hold the throttle and I'd stick my hand down between the V-twin and I get my hand warm.
That,
yeah. And then
the engine.
yeah, but for the other side, since I didn't have cruise control, I had to fucking go like swap. I had to put my left hand on the fucking throttle and then try and do this gnarly shit. And yeah, so there was a disadvantage to not having cruise control every now and then, you know, but not a big fucking deal, man. I like when you ride a bike and like when you drive a car, like you're really like, I like driving it. I like shifting. I like, you know, turning the wheel and doing all that shit. I like that. That's enjoyable for me.
That's the cool thing about the FXR, man. Petcock, you got to turn on the fuel, all that cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
These new bikes, you just turn a key and push a button.
You don't even need a key.
No.
Now they have like where you can flash them.
Fobs.
Yeah, you don't even need that
fob,
shit. Yeah,
yeah.
because they do the T, like the guys with the road glides are doing T-bars and they get rid of that whole bezel and everything. And that's where the ignition is,
That's
right?
true, yeah,
And
that's
so
true.
now they just remove the ignition and then they just flash the thing. So you just have the fob somewhere nearby.
Oh, that's cool.
You just fucking hit your start button and go. You don't even need a key anymore.
That would trip me out. Man.
Yeah,
When my bike's parked outside or something, I like to keep an eye on it. And it's just like, if your key fob's close enough, I'm sure they couldn't get far, but still.
I'm still old school like that. Got a key. My bike still has a damn key. it has a fob, like it still needs to be by it, but I still need to turn an ignition
Right.
to a position, Same thing with, I forgot almost with that dyno. I was like, oh yeah, you got, here it is down here by my ass and shit. I'm having a fucking bitch of a time. Let me ask you guys a question, because you guys, every car has it, crank position sensor.
Mhm.
Do you know how to diagnose if I have a bad one?
Ohms.
Yeah, you got to read.
Resistance.
So is every crank, and that's what I understand.
No.
So, but is everyone different?
No, so what you got to do is you got to look in the manual. There should be not a service manual, but there should be an actual electronics manual for it somewhere.
I mean, I can download it for
exactly. Download it
our
online.
phones.
Yeah,
Manuals in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it'll tell you like it will be 15 ohms. If it's good, or it'll be, it'll have
and you just
diagnosed.
end to end, right? You just fucking touch one over here,
Yeah,
and that's it.
Whatever the two wires or one wire, it's one wire coming out or two.
I think it's two.
So you just you touch both wires and it'll give you a resistance reading.
Because that's what I'm following on right now.
Or just swap it out. I had the same issue.
Well, I went to go look at it, how much it was at Harley. It was $75.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'd rather, and it's an electric part, so it's a non-returnable part.
Right.
And so I'm like, before I spend $75, I would like to know that that's at least, I think that's it. Because what's happening right now is I've rebuilt the carburetor. Look at, I have parts up here still. I've rebuilt the carburetor like 3 times, or I've rebuilt the carburetor, but gone through it like 3 or 4 times. Because on it, what happens is I go first gear, second gear, third gear, and it's as I'm revving up, it's decent RPM, not like really screaming, but it's like decent RPM. Let's say maybe 4,000 RPM, and then it'll just die. It'll turn off. No spark. It'll just turn off. And I can't, like, if I go and I ride it and then I pop the clutch and try and jumps it like that, kind of bump start it.
Mm-hmm.
It won't go. It'll kind of want to go, and maybe it will, but it won't run. You have to really feather it, fuck with the clutch.
Computer and stuff like
nope,
that?
it's a 01 carbureted and shit. So then what it'll do, here's where I'm like, the next thing is I can't, if I just go and hit the start button, it'll go, da, 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 it won't start. But if I pull the choke out, it will start. It'll rev really high because the RPM or the engine's already warm, but it'll start as soon as I pull it out. And then when I put it back in, then it'll idle just fine, runs in neutral. Then I can go ba 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 on the throttle, and it'll run. RPMs will go, and then I'll go like maybe first, second gear again. And then actually, when I come back home, because the loop that I've been kind of testing it on, it does the same shit every single time. When I'm coming back home, I'll hit second gear. It doesn't die, and I'll just pull the clutch in, and the RPMs will fall. And then it dies. It just comes up when it falls, just like it'll just turn off. And then I can't bump start it again. The only way to get it back on is to neutral it, or to like pull the choke out and then start it again.
But it runs fine when it runs.
It idles fine. It sounds fine. So like I feel like it's like spark in some, because that's why I went through the carburetor like 3 times, and every time I go, because it felt like I'm losing fuel. I'm not getting a fuel delivery. And so I went through the carburetor like 3 times, but every time I fucking pulled that thing out, the bowl was full. Like there was gas. Like every time you hit it, you could see the accelerator pump throwing gas in that bitch. And so that's why I'm like, okay, I think I'm past it being gas.
Did you do the float measurement? Like turn upside down and do all that stuff?
No, but I feel like
sometimes when you rebuild them and you mess with that, even if you touch it a little bit, it throws it off.
But it'll start up again right away. The only thing that
weird.
it'll start that I have to do to get it to start again is pull the choke out. But then it starts immediately, revs really high because obviously it's warm.
Right.
Push the choke in, it's idling just like it should. Sounds pretty good. And then it just dies. So I feel like I'm on like Spark or something like that.
My experience though with the crank sensor is once it's out, it's out. Like
you won't get running.
That sounds just like the dwarf car issue I had.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
or cam positioning sensor.
Well, if it's on the Harley, I think the crank position sensor is the one that's sending to the coil and all that shit. But so that's got to be what's advancing it then too, right? Because if I get on the throttle, it's got to start advancing it a little bit, doesn't it?
I don't think it would be that advanced.
No.
I'm not sure. We'd have to take it apart and do the resistance
it's
on
fucking
it. And all
okay,
that,
but that is the way to be able to check the fucking.
I always ask my dad what shit I can't figure out. Been a mechanic for 40 years, you know what I mean?
So, yeah,
but that's definitely the way because the dwarf car had the same issue. It's a motorcycle engine, right? It's an 09. What was it? 09.
No, 07.
07 ZX10, and it's all electronics.
Yeah, and usually when that part's out, you don't get anything. It won't start at all.
It depends.
But with electronic though, because the crank position sensor, from my understanding, all it's doing is there's a thing on the crank. There's some magnetic shit on the crank, and every time it passes it, it's letting that thing know, and it sends a signal to the coil to go bing and fucking fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you're right. If it goes bad, then I wouldn't. It wouldn't crank at all.
It would still crank, but it wouldn't.
All right, I mean, start.
Yeah,
because it starts. It'll cold start right now. I'll go pull the choke right now, and it'll cold start and run like it should with the choke on. Let it warm, and it'll sit there and run like a kitten or purr pretty. And then you get it on the road, 4,000 RPM.
Yeah, I would think with the sensor it would be no matter what. It doesn't matter what RPM, it would still give you shit. I don't see why it would run unless it's just not putting out the right voltage.
Let me ask you this. Does it sound like a spark thing to you at this point? I know that I feel very confident having gone through that thing.
Well, it could be
I even had another friend come over here the other night, Anthony. I did a podcast with him. He even came over the other night, and he's like, dude, let's go through that carburetor again. We went through it again with him, like at least twice while we were here. Took it off, took the bowl apart, booked the fucking. And he's like, dude, I'm pretty sure it's not that carburetor now either.
Well, it's mechanical, fuel driven, right? So the fuel pump,
gravity fed.
Yeah, it's gravity.
Oh, it's gravity fed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only other thing would be that. Or it would be spark.
But that's what I'm saying. I think I moved on to spark because the only thing that I every time I've taken the carburetor off, every time.
Is it clean still when you take it apart?
It's clean.
There's nothing in it.
No junk, no nothing. But that bowl is full. Like I got to dump it out. Yeah. Like I'm not measuring it and shit, but I'm like, there's fucking fuel in that bitch. I know. Crazy. I hate that fucking shit, dude.
That's the garage.
I know, dude. That's exactly what's
why we spend so many hours in the garage.
Yeah,
that's chasing down the 10mm.
Oh god. Yeah. Luckily on a Harley, it's only the battery bolt, and like there's a 10 point on the front of it. That's about it, man. So, all right. Well, when are you guys going to start racing then, man? February is when people can kind of catch you guys at the track.
Yeah. I think it's free to go watch, right?
Yeah,
for practice.
In the stands, yeah.
But yeah, it'll start in March. And
March for sure.
Definitely check it out, Ventura Raceway.
Yeah, no, I always tell people to go out there. I try and bring my friends out there. And
a lot of people they don't know. They don't know there's a local racetrack. And once you go, you get hooked.
Mm-hmm. Who promotes that shit?
Jim Naylor.
Just the track. Yeah,
just the
there's
track.
There's no commercials. There's no radio stations.
He's been around so long, and it's such a good facility, man. It's just.
But he doesn't do like social media stuff.
There's
stuff.
social media,
yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Ventura Raceway has all that stuff.
Yeah, Ventura Raceway has all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
and they post the schedules and all that shit.
If you guys want to keep it around, you got to start showing up a little more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
VenturaRaceway.com. You can go there, and right on the main page is the schedule. You just got to scroll up or scroll down a little bit.
And every now and then, I definitely try and make them. They have the hooligan races and the motorcycle races and shit over there too. Yeah. That usually around here brings a pretty good. That usually brings out a pretty good crowd that night and stuff. But
it's fun.
But what like you guys are talking about, if you want to keep it alive, because what ends up happening, to your point, is people don't go now, and then it's gone, and they're like, it's like boom, it's exactly like that, dude. It's like the drive-in theater, and then it's gone, and you're like, oh well, we can't go and watch any fucking races anymore. Like, I wish I could, Well, you know how you keep it? You just go and attend a race every now and then throughout the season to support that shit,
Yeah, it's really not that much money for a family. I mean, kids 12 and under is free. Pay for a couple adults, $18.
Under $40.
Yeah, I mean, you got food and all that stuff there too, but for the most part,
candy for the kids.
Yeah,
$40 for 6 hours of entertainment, 5 hours of entertainment.
Can you go in the pits?
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to pay though.
it's
Okay.
$40
No,
a
yeah,
person
yeah.
or $50 a person.
Yeah.
But
50
yeah, you can go in the
bucks, no
pits, talk to the
membership.
drivers. But after the race, you can go in the pits for free.
Oh, they open it up so
They
you can go
open
check
it
out
up,
the
yeah,
Yeah,
cars
as
and
soon as
stuff.
all the cars are off the track, they let the kids go in and sit in the cars.
Sit in the cars, whatever you want to do. Talk to the racers.
That's cool.
You definitely do that.
It's
Yeah.
fun, man. It's just got to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
People, social media, they start live streaming it, and then people are asking, "Hey, can you, stream it and stuff?" It's like, no, come check it out.
Yeah, because then I see, because that's like a double-edged sword. Then you stream it, then you don't get people to come and come and watch it. So yeah, I get it. We just got to figure out a way to be able to capitalize on how to stream it.
Problem is, there's not much money.
Yeah, there's if you what's it called, that
Flow racing.
Flow racing, yeah, they cover a lot of the racing around the nation. It's pretty cool. It's like $100. You can watch whatever.
That's what my father-in-law watches a
Flow.
lot. Yeah, he asked me to download it on my
There you go.
something like that.
Smart man.
Because when he comes over here, then he's like, "Can you put it on the thing on the
Hell
app
yeah,
or whatever?"
man.
And
Hell
then
yeah.
he's always watching some type of race on it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Good time with that.
all right. So, Mike, we're going to convince you to get a bike soon.
I don't know about soon. After the sprint car for sure.
After the sprint car, fair enough. Yeah, because that's probably going to consume your time. I would say a little bit.
Oh,
yeah. Are you still doing the camping thing? I see you were out there.
Still.
I see your rig at work every now and then.
Yeah.
With the camping setup, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we did snow camping recently, which was pretty fun.
Really?
Off-roaded up there and
where at?
Kennedy Meadows. So above, technically above Kennedy Meadows. It's kind of by Lake Isabella almost.
Okay.
In the Sequoias.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's freshly snowed out there, so we off-roaded up. And
does it stay pretty warm in that thing?
We have a heater.
Oh, you little space heater or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, otherwise you get pretty cold.
The lady wouldn't be too happy.
Yeah. And you pull a whole damn trailer, huh?
Yeah, we got quite the rig there, man. All these kids
I saw your whole rig that you did to haul all the.
Give me a welder, man.
Yeah,
we got a tent trailer for now.
Between the both of us, we build anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a tent trailer because she's pregnant, not doing this floor stuff,
Yeah, my wife is definitely not a floor tent. I don't even think she's gone camping, like ever. I don't think she's gone camping.
Yeah, we double stack the race cars when we go. I don't really like pulling trailers, man. I work nights and stuff, so it's like wake up late and load the cars and let's go. I can do 70, 75, 65, whatever. But trailer, you got to do 55.
How is that shit going, by the way, man? Work.
It's crazy, man. It sucks right now.
Does it?
It's slow, man. I don't want to make anything political, but just letting everybody go, man. It's like I worked all night last night, waited for people to get booked in, and nothing happened.
Man,
it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you want to tell them what you do?
Bail bonds.
Yeah. If you guys, I know I need one every. I know I got some friends that needs that shit every now and then. Man.
Call me up.
What's the name?
We do biker bail bonds right now.
Biker bail bonds. Long standing thing here in Ventura.
Yeah.
Biker bail bonds is a reputable, long standing name in this area.
It's crazy though, man. They're just letting everybody go.
Yeah.
But if you're on probation right now, they're giving everybody on probation crap because nobody's getting on probation, so everybody needs job security.
So they're bringing them in and popping them for all this shit, man. Yeah, it's gone soft, dude. This country's gone a little soft.
There's no consequences for anything anymore.
Yeah, that's the slippery slope, right?
Right.
You think you're doing a good thing now. You're like, oh, well, we're not going to jail them. We're going to give them a chance. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then the slippery slope is there's people that don't give two shits. They're just taking advantage of what it is that you're letting them get away with.
Right.
You give them, you figure out, let them figure out a way to get away with it. They're going to. Some people are just natural criminals. What they do.
It's crazy though. You can be me or you. We get in an argument with our wife and go to jail for spousal. Hopefully not, but battery, which is just arguing. They're always going to take somebody.
Yeah.
They don't want nothing to happen. Or anything to happen. Those are the people they keep in there. You steal something, you do drugs or whatever. There's no.
I see those
at least
videos.
With bail, you got a babysitter pretty much. You got to make sure someone's making sure you get to court, making sure it's like it's like a short probationary period.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now there's nothing. They're not giving anybody probation. They're not. Just come back to court. Just make sure you come back.
That's stupid,
It's insane.
man. It's insane. I see all these videos. You guys see them too, of the people just walking into stores
That
and
drives
just
me nuts, man.
smash and grab shit. And I saw one where it was like Apple. I think it was Apple, and they were just fucking snagging them off of the wired
Organized
thing. They
crime.
just boom with the store packed, like not like one or two people in there, jam packed,
Yeah.
snatching them off. Daytime, and someone recording. Obviously, that's how we're seeing the video, and I can hear them asking, like, well, "Should we do something?" And the employees and shit are like, "No, we're told not to do shit." And then they just walk the fuck out.
Yep.
If I don't know, man, I guess I have to be from the outside looking in. When I see that, if I feel like if I'm in that situation, I just feel like I would like want to sock fucking somebody, and I might fucking just pop off and go, "Hey, fuck you, man, you piece of shit!" Just bam. I feel like I would do something but that's from the outside looking, watching the video and shit.
Right.
Like, how are these people just standing there? Because at the same time, it's also like, it's not my shit. It's not, but it just infuriates me to the point of like, God, dude.
That's me, man. It's like, the guy at Walmart, they were talking about they're losing millions of dollars due to theft every year. And people are like, oh, well, they make millions and trillions of dollars in profit, but they're not. The thing is, they're not going to lose that profit.
Yeah.
It's going to come back to us.
Yeah.
We're going to be spending the money.
Well, it doesn't justify being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. But at the same time, it's like, oh, well, they make enough money. No, you don't understand.
Yeah.
It's going to come back on the people that don't steal shit.
Yeah. We're going to pay more for it.
That's what pisses me off.
Yeah. We're going to pay more. However, and to Mike's point, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, whether they made $100 million and people stole $1 million worth of shit, that wasn't your $1 million fucking dollars. That was, that wasn't your shit. That's like, I can go forever on that shit, dude. Like theft, like fucking thieves.
Thieves are the worst.
I can't stand fucking thieves, man. I can't stand fucking thieves, dude.
Jesus.
Oh, that's the fucking worst, dude.
A lot of that is drug related, but these people that are doing the snatch and grabs, they don't. I mean, I don't know them personally, but they don't look like they're doing drugs and shit. And the people that call me for organized crime, they don't have drug charges with it too. A lot of time these tweakers and shit, they got drug charges with theft. You know what I mean? Like, they're good people, but they got demons. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But these people that are doing it outright, I mean, theft is not good at all. But
I feel,
what I mean?
yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
No,
it's like these people are doing it outright.
Some of them have these fucking this person
crazy
in their head telling them to go and do this shit because of their addiction or whatever it may be. There's other ones that I just see, dude. You're just going and fucking being a dickhead and taking that shit and like not giving a fuck
and collecting unemployment.
And probably collecting unemployment and
back on us.
then going to sell it on the street and and it all comes back on me. I got to pay more taxes. I got to pay more for the fucking product. The list fucking goes on.
Home Depot now has a database for returns and shit, because people steal shit and then they go to return. If you're in there enough times, they won't return your shit.
No shit.
Yeah. So guess who's paying for those people that are doing that job now?
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's real shit. They ask for an ID, or if you don't have an ID, they won't let you return it because they want to put you in the database.
That's actually a thing then.
Yeah.
Why? Because they don't ask for a receipt or shit. They don't ask for shit.
People steal shit and walk out.
They steal. Yeah, Home Depot is like probably one of the number one.
And then they just go back in a couple days later and return. Oh, I don't have a receipt. Well, okay, now give me your ID. If you don't have an ID, so we can put you in this database. They look you up, see how many times you return shit, what you returned.
I'm not telling criminals how to be criminals, but why don't you just steal the shit that you need so you don't have to fucking return it?
That's one thing, right?
Just fucking take what you need, you dumb fucks.
I mean, that's why they're criminals, because they're dumb,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I go to Winco at night because I'm working nights and I can basically do whatever I want as long as I answer the phone and do what I need to do. But go to Winco and do my shopping. And it's
24 hours.
Tweakers and homeless, and I see them stealing shit. But
yeah.
One side of it's food. They're probably hungry. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's going to cost me money in the end.
It's fucked up because it's like we as red-blooded Americans are just like normal civil fucking people want to do something, but there's nothing that we're going to be able, I hate to say it, but I can swallow the pill of, unless I go and fucking form a revolution, there's nothing that I'm going to fucking that I'm going to be able to do. And sadly, a lot of people probably feel that same way. And then just nothing ever happens. It's just fucking becomes the way, you know. And
well, everybody has their
I'm
own
guilty
lives too. You
Yeah,
know?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
You got kids at home. I got kids at home. If I see someone stealing,
yeah, I'm guilty of turning.
pisses me off.
Yeah,
but
the one thing that I will not tolerate, I will say this, that most of the time, dude, it's like, fuck, man, not my shit, not my business, I don't need to stick my nose in it. The only time, and it's happened a couple of times I can count on one hand, where I've seen a guy get physical with a woman.
Oh, hell.
And that's the only time where I'm like, hey, I gotta step in. Like that's the only time that I'll kind of step in. There's been other instances that I've been out in the street and stuff, and I see a cop and he's fucking with somebody, and I'll bust the cop's balls or something. I don't know. I'll step in.
Story today or yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Dude,
that was hilarious.
I was parked on PCH, dude. Mike, you know where Dan Blocker Beach is at. You're familiar with the work area, dude. There was 3 of them. And then it went down to 2. But I was doing some work in that area, and they were just, I mean, it was only, I swear, a quarter stretch of a mile that they were sitting at. Like they were just doing loops at. And the guy would just come, when I was parked, I saw him one. I'm like, oh, I saw where that's. I'm like, damn, that sucks. And then I thought, whatever, you know. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, damn, another one. And then I fucking saw a pattern. And then I saw him flip back around. I'm like, holy shit, these guys. And it would suck too, because where they were doing it, it was like, you guys are dicks, man, because they're coming around this blind curve downhill. So they're catching them on this fucking downhill shit where it's like 50 miles an hour the speed limit. And even if you coast down that downhill from the 50 on top, you're going to do 60, even if you coast down that bitch. And they're just bing, bing, bing. The guy I swear, dude, 2 of them, there was 3 of them. 1 of them left. Then there was 2, and they did some damage. And then the one dude was just like, I ain't had enough yet. I'm going back. And he was just by himself, circling.
The brown noser comment made me laugh.
I was just fucking like, wow, rough day, man. Well, for all those fucking people, man. Yeah.
PCH, you know, supercars, bikes, and stuff. So
yeah, but
they love PCH.
I know, but I've gone down PCH plenty of times. I've ridden down. I drive it quite often for work. But I've never seen it like where they just sat in a spot and just literally were just like, I've never, and maybe that's how they work it, but that I was in the fucking shit. There were, so watch yourself on PCH, man. Yeah, be careful on PCH.
See, that's what sucks. You're giving these people tickets, but these people are getting caught stealing drugs, doing all this stuff. Just letting them out.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why they're giving more tickets, because they're letting all these other motherfuckers go. They're like, hey, we need to make up for the and I will because he gave so many tickets. I saw how they did it. They don't write that shit anymore. All he has to do is like take a fucking. I saw him. I was like 10 feet away. He did a really shitty job of securing his area, making sure that nobody was going to come and clock the back of him or something like that. Because I was like fucking right there, and he didn't. I mean, I'm sure he knew I wasn't a threat, but I was close enough for him to watch his transaction with fucking somebody, and it's like they ask for their driver's license. You guys seen that little code that they have on it and shit now?
Yep.
Okay. They just scan that shit. It populates all this shit in their tablet and all that crap. They just hit the little button like 65 miles an hour. This was the thing. Think they hit print. It came out of the machine. Sign here.
Like a meter.
Actually, I think they had him sign the tablet. They go sign tablet, and then the guy fucking hit the button. It printed out a little ticket. Here you go. Damn. Dude, he was done. I mean, start to finish. That's how he was picking people off. He was like, from the time he got off of his bike to back on his bike and leaving, 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes.
Now.
Yeah. And what I saw him do, he'd like turn the gun. He'd like show them something on the gun. He just like, I got you at however fast he was going. So they were like, the fuck you going to say? You can't do the damn thing, dude. Yeah, dude.
And, going back to, it's not law enforcement's fault either that these people are, they're frustrated with too. I've talked to a few of my friends, and they're just like, man, we're doing our job, but truthfully, it's these judges and magistrates at night, these liberal judges and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean? They're trying to do their job and trying to do the best they can. It's just like they're basically the judge is their boss, right?
Yep.
They're just like, no, sorry, dude.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I know, man.
They're frustrated too.
That's the politics. That's politics, man.
Crazy.
It's
California.
It's the shitty part. We were talking about that at work today about California, LA, and our department deals with a lot of permitting stuff, right? And I don't know I don't know how it came up or why it came up, but my supervisor was something about like our area, just like our area is like the worst for like the time or the duration about permits and stuff. And I was like, well, yeah, because this is like the most regulated like county or city or whatever in the whole freaking world, probably. Like you can't do anything without getting somebody's approval or some type of like, yeah, you can't do shit around here. You can't put in a water heater. You can't do shit without getting somebody's approval around here.
Well, yeah, you got that. You got the government side of it, then you live in these HOAs, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just double government.
Yeah. I think my brother is learning that. He just bought a house. And I fucking tell him, dude, that was fucking badass that he bought a house, because he bought a brand new house over by like SoFi Stadium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, good money over there, man. But he's doing all right for himself. But he moved into a HOA thing.
Oh no.
And for him and his now fiance, I think it's good for them, because he's not much of a like mowing a lawn guy. He's not much of that type of guy. So an HOA works for him as far as that type of stuff. But I think he learned, I think there was already an instance where something about, hanging up something or putting up a light or something, like they said we couldn't do that, or we couldn't park here or something. I'm like, yeah, see, that right there is where I just could not.
Guys like us couldn't live in an HOA.
No.
From you firing off your bikes. For us, the only way to like check a sprint car if it's running is firing it off. You have to push start it. Well,
yep.
And it's loud. So I don't think the HOA would be very much happy with a sprint car firing off on one of their streets.
Yeah, no, I'm not an HOA guy.
Just gives those crybabies leverage,
Yeah.
Like my neighbors can't. There's one, and I was loading up the hobby stock one time. It's not very loud, and she comes over. She's like, "You turn that off?" I'm like, "Do you see the trailer right here and me pointing at it? I'm literally gonna drive it onto the trailer. I'm leaving." She's like, "You need to shut it off." No, I don't need to do anything. I need to go back to your house and so we can stay respectful to each other.
I know the feel. I have this neighbor over here who luckily the one I had a problem with, they left, so now it's just like their son.
Yeah.
But I know what it's like to have a neighbor that's and
all the other ones
share
cool,
a fence
man.
with them, for God's sakes.
We've had our house more than longer than anyone else on the block. So it's like we kind of roll the
Yeah, you guys have been there.
Fire up the modified at 2 a.m.
Right. Luckily for me, I'm not the only neighbor that's loud. Right directly across the street from me.
Okay.
My friends, we became good friends during COVID and stuff, man. They got dirt bikes and Harleys.
There you go.
A boat and diesels, and you know what I mean? I'm not the only one. So it's
that makes it a little bit easier.
We had a neighbor come up. We were doing dirt bikes before we went camping a couple weeks ago. And one of the neighbors, he's cool. He's like 3 or 4 houses up. He's like, "All right, which one of you guys was that?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, I got a guy over here, man, that 2 doors down, Kevin. He's got the guy got some toys, man. He's got he got a semi trailer now, like a 45-foot fifth wheel rock crawler. Him and his wife, they're married, no kids or anything like that.
There you go.
But yeah, he's firing up his his quads to move them, his rock crawler, backing in his semi. The other day he had that thing parked out here. It took over like the whole front of his house and the neighbor's house. It's a monstrosity, man. But I don't care. It doesn't bother me, like it is. It's just stuff, he's respectable with it. He's not like I'm not starting my stuff at 2 o'clock in the morning, Mike, but
we have
hey Friday night before race.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, no, there's times where you have to, I think it's pretty quiet. The really good thing about mine here is that I'm a little detached from the house. So that helps when I do need to start something in here, Yours is attached to the house, huh?
No, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for my house, but track homes. Man.
Yours too, huh? Yours is attached to the house, off to the side.
We start stuff outside.
Yeah. But you got the backyard too and all that shit.
Dude, his house is huge.
Yeah, I've been to you got a big lot over there also. Yeah. I'm trying to I was looking today at have you probably seen them or heard of them? They're called VersaTube.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was looking at one today, man. Oh, I still want to pull the trigger on one, but
I don't know what that is.
It's a metal building, basically.
It's like a metal building, but it's like you just connect. It slides together, and you put a self tapper through it and call it good.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I just had to lay a foundation. It's like you build it yourself, but they have. You design it yourself. You put a door here or whatever, and they'll just send you the tubes and all that stuff. and then you build it. And I was looking at one, and they have like finance options, and I'm like, oh, don't do it, Ray, don't do it.
Right.
Yeah, but it would be so nice, man. I need a bigger garage. I need a storage more is what I need right now. That would help.
Yeah, I built
You
a
know?
shed in my backyard.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's what I want. How big?
Just an 8x10.
Okay.
No, 8x12. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Just made it.
What we need is a shop.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all need a shop.
We need a
Yeah.
shop.
That'd be cool.
Well, me and my buddies, a couple of my buddies are kicking some stuff around, you know,
Yeah.
and we're looking. So, you know, maybe you guys need a place. Maybe there's a place that we can, you know, collectively, you know, because we're looking for the same thing. I'm trying to take, believe it or not, I'm trying to take this thing a little bit. I would like to build and have a studio.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time I do this, I got to set this up and pull the table out and set the mic up and set them, you know, so it's a little bit of a chore. And not that it's not that much of a chore, to be honest with you.
It just sucks.
Yes and no, but I also feel like I want to have a spot that's like I mean, this is my spot. This is my fucking livelihood. This is my sanctuary,
I
you know?
love this.
Yeah, this is my shit. But I also feel like I can create a very similar atmosphere in like a studio thing
You can
with
have a
like a TV.
couch.
Exactly. With like
Yeah.
a couch and, you know, better microphone setup where it's a little, you know, a little mini fridge, you know, shit like that. Maybe some lighting, bullshit like that, right? An actual studio type shit. But I got some friends that want to do some like little, you know, some motorcycle work. So maybe like split it up, do shit like that. So,
Right.
you know, if that's a possibility and we find a spot, maybe I'll hit you guys up, man. Cause that's all guys like us, you know, that live in the garage and toys and stuff like that. It always comes down to space. It always,
Right.
it always
It's a
comes
lot-
down
it's
to
a lot
not
worse.
enough of it.
It's a lot worse with a race car.
Oh yeah.
Bigger, you got the tires, the spare parts, you got the tools.
I got to take you. Have you been to Ed's house?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to take you over to my father-in-law's house.
Jealous.
It's I was about to say, man,
So
that
nice,
it's he needs to clean it a little bit. I'll be honest. He can go.
We all do.
We can all clean it. Yeah, we all
He has
have
He
that.
has a lift outside,
Yeah.
and then he has basically a shop with another lift inside.
Yeah. He's
That's
got it.
cool,
He's
man.
got, and then back behind it, dude, he's got like, so the garage opens out the back also.
Mhm.
He built the shed back there, so he's got
beautiful.
fucking tire racks and like transmission and case racks, and like it's just it's a racer's hangout fucking for sure.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
cool.
yeah. But I told him, I said, hey, I don't know when you're, you know, what you're doing. He wants to get out of the state too. He bought a property out in Oklahoma. I said, but you know, I'm gonna come over here, and whatever you don't take with you, you know, that lift, if you're not going to take that lift, I'm going to bring that lift over to my house.
And just tell him it'll cost him just as much in fuel to take it.
Yeah.
Might as well leave it.
Yeah.
Buy a new one.
Good. Yeah. Feed me that. I need more of that right there. So we're going to be able to leave it here.
Exactly.
So, well, right on, guys. Let's wrap this thing up. I want to
All right.
make sure that guys know where they can go and follow you guys, like racing wise, if they want to. There's Tom Stevens Racing. Is that what it is?
Stevens Racing.
Stevens Racing.
Yeah.
Okay.
16
Stevens Races 16 on Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, with my business, though, you know, I don't really, unless I know people, I don't really, you know,
Open it up.
open it up because
Yeah, I
I have
feel you.
kids and stuff. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
get friend
yeah.
requests from people, that clients and stuff. They're cool people, but
Yeah.
I got to protect the family. So
No, of course.
if you send me a friend request and I see that, you know, you're mutual friends or whatever, probably accept it. But if not, you know,
Nothing personal.
yeah, don't take
I
it
know. I
personal.
feel it. And I have, I know it sounds dumb, but I have multiple accounts for that exact reason
Yeah, I
right
noticed
there.
that.
Yeah. So
That'd
for
probably be me.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, especially because you got, you know, the bail bond stuff in the business,
Yeah,
and that
eventually I want to start my own, so I'll have those opened up and
yeah,
stuff like that. you know?
exactly. So as
So-
time goes, but that's the reason I have multiple ones, is because I only want to share, like I have one that's just friends and family,
Right.
close friends and family. You guys, I think, are on that, and
Mhm.
so like, you know, that's my kids and that's my that, you know. So yeah, I feel you, but consider that, you know, that
Yeah.
way people can reach out and follow the racing stuff, because I know, Mike, you did. I think I saw that you have. I
I got
know
two.
your personal account.
I got two. I got a personal account, and then I got my racing.
And then I
account.
saw the racing
Yeah.
account recently, and that's Mike Lawn Racing, right?
Yeah, Mike
that what-
_long_ racing. Yeah.
Okay. And then the other one, yeah, follow the racing one, right?
Follow the racing one. There'll be new stuff coming out pretty soon. Some exciting stuff. that
Yeah,
we're gonna
new
be doing
season,
this
all
soon.
that shit.
Well, we
yeah.
got some stuff in the works that really exciting. For
What do you got?
Can't tell you guys.
Why not?
Can't tell you guys.
Come on, man.
I can't spoil it yet.
Give me a little teaser. Come on, give me like a little bit. Just throw me a hook.
We
Throw
got
me a
some
line.
good people hopping on board.
Okay.
Some professionals. And,
Oh, nice.
We're gonna rock this season.
Okay.
At least look fast. At least look fast. I'll have fast people around me.
They say there was a thing in like softball that we used to tell each other, and you can probably relate it to the track in this sense. But we used to say like, "Look good, play good." You know, like if we look good with our dry fits and our uniforms and shit, we go out there and play good. But sometimes if you look fast, you kind of go fast. You know, that's the concept, right?
If you can't go fast, at least you look good.
Yeah. Well, sometimes to be honest, like that's it can intimidate people. You come out there with your fucking car set up looking like that motherfucker's going fast. People are gonna go like, "Oh, I need to watch out," whether they know shit about you or not. You know, you come out there banging, going, "Hey, what the fuck is that?" You know. Yeah. There's also that chess game of racing and just competition.
Right.
You know, you got to play that little chess game and shit. So Mike Long Racing. Stevens Racing 16. Don't be offended if he doesn't fucking add you on there. It's nothing personal or anything like that. And if you biker bail bonds, if you guys local
or just bail bonds in general,
just bail bonds in general,
hit me up on the DMs. I don't really want to put my phone number on here, but
no worries.
Hit me up on the DMs with any questions. Like I said, go to your local tracks, support that. Bring your kids; they can come sit in the cars. The fans usually have stickers or hats or whatever. I mean, not the fans, the racers to give the kids.
We'll have stickers and some, merchandise and shirts and hats and stuff at the track.
Right on.
Bring your kid for sure. Sit in the car. Meet the crew members. All that fun stuff.
Hang out. Yeah. It's a good time. Yeah, I take my kids out there, and this year I'll go and hang out with you guys in the pits. I'll bring my kids out there and shit like that. But yeah,
and for the gearheads out there, we are looking for crew members.
Exactly.
We do need extra help.
Always looking for people to put hands on.
Food and beer.
Oh shit! I know a lot of guys that'll work for that.
and a pit pass.
And a pit pass.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Then what is it normally then for like what would like a good team be? What would it consist of? How many people?
So
at least 2.
Realistically, at least for me, I like to not want to think about anything other than racing. I don't want to have to be able to fix the car.
Gotcha.
I want to be able just to sit there and focus and stuff. So realistically, I probably need 2 or 3 other guys, or a bunch of knuckleheads.
I gotcha.
Just to hang out and have fun.
I gotcha. 2-3 guys
it's
Saturday
fun,
night,
man, and the family aspect of it, like you meet people that become good friends, and everybody, even if you have problems on the track or you've had squabbles with people, man, you need a part, dude. Somebody's there. Could be someone that does not like you, and if they got the part, they're giving it to you.
It's vice versa. If I have something that someone needs, it's like, yeah, here you go.
Yeah. That's a good takeaway. It's a good way to to wrap it up, because there's some stuff. I was actually going to do a podcast on this, and I might still, but like motorcycling to me can be, most of the time for me, it is a little selfish because I don't get to do it with my kids,
right?
And I do get to do it with my wife, and she gives me shit recently for not doing it with her as much as I used to. I have my reasons, because I know she's going to listen to this later, but I have my reasons and stuff. But I mean, it is a little selfish, with the motorcycle, because you can't fit a fucking car seat, or I can't fucking, I can't do that on that stuff. I need that time, because that's where I get my peace, and that's how I'm able to fucking not strangle my kids. But one of the reasons I'm not
therapy.
That's my therapy, exactly. But racing, like that's one of the things, like I was saying at the beginning with my wife. Her dad grew up at the track, so she grew up at the track, like you guys are saying, like Tom, like you're doing with your kids. Mike, or if you have kids, I'm sure.
I did it with my dad.
Yeah, same, exactly.
It's the whole aspect. You go to the track, and like this next season coming up, my dad's going to be there, but he's not working on anything. His job is to cook food. Yeah. Have the smoker at the track, have good food.
So he's going out there cooking, hanging
out,
Memories,
go socialize.
Man, that's what it's about.
There you go. That's
my favorite thing about it with my kids. As stressful it is, expensive it is, as it is. It's the memories that we have. can't replace them.
Yeah, it's something that you can do with the family. It adds another layer of difficulty because of how many moving parts there are. You got to work on a car and then chase kids around, but I mean, it's still fun.
I've gotten to race with my dad a handful of times, man, and I'll never forget them.
Yeah,
just like you were saying, riding with your dad.
Yeah,
back to the Harley when he called me and said, "Come meet me here," and the bike was sitting there, and he's like, "You like this bike?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, that thing's fucking badass." And he's like, "Well, here's the keys, let's go." And he had his bike there and just left the truck there and rode off, man. The first time, you don't forget that stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Those are the things that you
taking
build.
my kid on the bike for the first time when he could fit on it, man. That's just, it's
their feelings, man. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Go out there and enjoy them as a man, as a father. My advice to Mike when you get kids and all that shit, Tom, the older I get, the more I want to spend time with my family.
You can slow down.
Yeah, the less
it's hard.
It is
to slow down.
It is. Well, I wouldn't say I slow down. I guess my
but to realize it.
Yeah, my go is different go right. than it used to be. It used to be a little bit more for me, like going to the bar, going to the club, going to talk to this girl, going on this date, going to the softball field, playing this, going over there, Sunday fun day, drinking day. It used to be that go, hustling, working, grinding, whatever. And now my go is working, my wife and my kids, and then this. And but this is fun. This is fucking, this isn't fucking hard for me to, it's work, but sitting here at this table is not, so that's my go now. I just replaced it with something else, you know. So, all right, homeboys, you guys have a good rest of the night. You guys drove over here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you did. Okay. We'll catch you definitely at the track, right? Coming February, definitely in March time. Definitely catch you at Ventura Raceway. Mike Long Racing, Mike _Long Racing. Yeah. I know you got to separate all that shit. Yeah. I had to do the same shit with my stuff. So, but I appreciate you guys dropping by, man. Did you have a good time?
Thank you for having us. Yeah, it's
blast, yeah. Mike, I know you were wondering, like, what the fuck are we going to talk about?
I should have put on that sweater, though, like you said.
I told you. You said, I'm warm-blooded. Yeah,
but I cooled down.
Not in this garage, man. Yeah, Mike was like, what are we going to talk about? Talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about, man. That's how we do it.
Every time, man.
That's how we do it. So, well, appreciate you guys rolling through. We'll do it again. You're welcome any damn time. And we're going to get that damn bike back together soon. I know, do the kid stuff and all that stuff, but we'll get that bike running and we're going to get your ass back on a bike as well. All right.
Exactly.
All right. Tom, appreciate it, man. Mike, of course, anytime. Appreciate it. Thank you. Later, fuckers.
Later.
All right.